I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, about 40 minutes north of Pittsburgh, in a really small town called Elwood City, Pennsylvania. We didn't go to the city very much because it was sort of painted out to be a little scary. So I grew up in a cow town, and you know, we found some fun things to do there. Went to school in Ohio, to college in Ohio, and they had this semester away program in Martha's Vineyard, which was basically a school of rock, which is where I met my bandmate, Scott Tyler. We've been singing together for about 5 years. Since we were at that school of rock thing, we've always kind of started doing things together. We describe ourselves as ambient folk, chord organ driven hillbilly grunge. I'm just not, I don't read music. I'm not one of those people I sometimes don't even consider myself a musician. I sing and I create, but I'm an artist, but I don't know that I'm like a musician. So I don't know that I have an outlet to be a paid musician. But I really like being in a band. Dabbled in photography and film photography in college, and I think the reason I picked photography and not drawing is one, I'm not a great drawer at all, and two, because I loved the replication of. I loved seeing and feeling a certain way in an environment, and then being able to replicate it, and then when you develop it in the darkroom, then you can make it feel however you want. So you get to insert all these feelings that you had in a very concrete medium, being photography. What turns me on creatively is the replication of. I love hearing different, even poetry and songs, and I love like going to art museums, and I love the feeling that it gives me, and I love being able to somehow replicate that. I'm not a Greek. I'm a Roman. I'm an innovator, not an originator, but I feel like because like after this well of replication has sort of built up, I feel like I'm only just now getting to a point where the things that I'm putting out, sometimes I don't know where they're coming from anymore, and that feels great because I feel like I've stored up this storehouse of ideas and of these people that have come before me, and now I can just put something on paper, or I can, you know, I just started drawing for real for the first time in my life, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm onto something now that's mine. Like I've collected enough things, and I'll keep collecting things and be able to make something that's mine. And I don't know, that's my turn on. That's my creative turn on. I'm finally able to be myself, and I feel like I'm finally in a place that I'm doing what I didn't know I really wanted to do. And so this project, this band, makes me feel most like myself. I take myself too seriously. I take myself so seriously. I feel like the time that I take myself least seriously is when I'm just performing, and that's when I feel like I'm myself. And so, isn't it funny that you asked me what makes somebody else beautiful, and I immediately think of their characteristics and like their internal qualities. But the second you say what makes you beautiful, I'm trying to think of my best feature. It's so funny that it changes like what we believe about ourselves. It's so different than what we believe about other people. We give everybody else the benefit of the doubt. How would I feel if I didn't perform anymore? I think obviously very sad. I feel like I would have, you know, it's not even like a fame thing, you know what I mean? It's more like I'm an outward processor, obviously. And I feel like performance is an opportunity for me to process what's actually going on in my life. I sometimes don't know what I'm feeling until I start saying it out loud, or until I'm on stage and I'm singing the song that I've sung a million times, and I go, oh, that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. I'd probably need to get a therapist. That's what I would probably need to do. I feel like my artistic voice is trying to say, keep going. don't get me, I feel like it's better sometimes because it means that something in them has been jostled. Like, I sometimes feel like the only reason my artistic voice exists is to jostle a different memory in somebody else. I think that when, whatever it makes them feel, I want them to feel like they can just let it. I want them to feel whatever it is they feel. I want them to feel it big. Nearly as myself and as brave as I want to be in a moment. I feel like